Okay, this is a dentist who graduated in the 1990s with debt. Oh, it's manageable. A little tough, but manageable. All right, off 1990s debt. Next, 2000s debt. In the purple. Oh, this is my generation. Not easy, but the cost to go to dental school, probably at the high end, $200,000. Okay, off 2010 debt, green sweatshirt. Oh man, dental school pricing has gotten double, even though new grads are making the same. And dental income is stagnant. Okay, 2020 debt. Everybody on here. Oh, next. Good. Good. Can you get on? Okay. Hold on, Drew. 2021 debt. Oh, it's so tough. Thanks, guys. That's awesome, Hudson. Awesome associate needed in North Carolina. This is Paul Dr. Nacho Goodman, founder of Dental Nachos and Dentist Shop Connect, doing my favorite thing right now, sharing a success story of dentists bonding together to share in the joy of full contact arts and crafts on people that don't want to be there. That's dentisting. I'm here with Dr. Maya, Dr. Jessica. They're awesome dentists in North Carolina. Let's just orient our audience for a minute, Dr. Martin, as to who you are. You've been part of our Dentist Job Connect platform as a practice owner. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Goodman, for facilitating this platform. It's a great way for dentists and owners and other dentists to connect. We are so grateful to have Dr. Ortiz on board. She's doing a great job. We are located in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is a great place to live. And we have 4 locations currently, and we have the one.
So welcome to questions you should ask yourself before hiring an associate. This will also help you if you are looking for an associate position. This is Paul Dr. Nacho Goodman, founder of Dental Nachos and Dentist Job Connect. To reach out for help from Dentist Job Connect, just go to dentistjobconnect.com or text the word hire to 215-798-9897. The first thing I want to bring up is the most important question to ask yourself, the most important question to know about the job you're about to take. Is this associate position a car or a boat? Let me explain more. A boat is a want, a car is a need. People will sell their boat before they sell their car. So it's really important as a practice owner. Are you looking for a need-based associate position or a want-based? What does a need-based associate position look like? A need-based associate position looks like replacing an associate that has already been in place in your practice with a track record of production and being paid and working with a team on your side. A want-based associate position, there's nothing wrong with a want-based or boat position, but managing expectations is key. If you're looking for an associate so that you can take more time off from the office, have more free time, go on more vacations, that is a want-based associate position, and it's important to manage expectations well. For both positions, I strongly recommend an income guarantee. I have multiple associates, both specialist and general dentist, and we pay them an income guarantee no matter what. We, of course, have a bonus commission structure above that income guarantee, but it's important to have an income guarantee, in my opinion, because when people come to work, they want to know that they can pay their rent, their mortgage, their dental school loans, buy food and things like that. The story of the why is important. So when someone asks you, why are you looking for an associate? Or ask yourself or your spouse or your accountant, why are you looking for an associate? Is it growth of your dental practice and you have too many patients that you can handle? Or is it because you want a lifestyle change? And there's nothing wrong with that. Another important thing to acknowledge is that a want-based associate position is most likely, Nacho studies show, there are no real studies on this, 97% of the time, going to decrease the profit to you as the practice owner because you are going to be paying a dentist to do dentistry that you used to do. This may be fantastic for your morale and sanity, but it's important to know that it will have an impact in lowering your profit. Over time, you may market and grow that associate's position to be one that is profitable, but it's important to know in the beginning that your first associate will cause a decrease in your earnings. It may cause an increase in your sanity, an increase in your free time, but a decrease in your earnings. The 3 M's that matter most, the questions to talk about: the morale, the money, and the mentorship of your associate position. Let's start with the morale. Is your office team culture ready to bring in an associate? How will they treat a new dentist in your practice? Do you have team meetings where you go over goals, culture, systems? If so, that sounds like you are set up for success in onboarding an associate. If you're someone that kind of flies by the seat of their dentisting pants, and there's nothing wrong with that for your system as a solo GP, is your team, your front desk, your assistants ready to embrace this associate? How will it impact their morale? The money, create clear expectations as to how you are going to pay your associate. And if you're an associate watching, listening and watching, create clear expectations as to your income expectations. So I'll give you an example. If you work in our practice for 200 days a year, you'll make $120,000 no matter what. You'll be a W-2 employee. You'll get the option to have health insurance benefits just like the rest of our employees in the practice. We'll pay you 33% of your collections as a commission-based bonus. So after your $120,000 for the year, if you have brought in $600,000, 33% of that is 200. 200 minus 120, we will owe you $80,000. If you only brought in $300,000, 33% of 300 is 100. 120 minus 100 is $20,000. You would not owe us any money. You would keep the whole 120. And mentorship. Do you have the time, ability, and availability to mentor your associate? This is a dentist that they don't treatment plan like you. You might have been a dentist for 15 years. Maybe they're a dentist for 2 years. Doesn't mean you're a better dentist. They're not as good a dentist. Just means you have different treatment planning philosophies. Are you available to help with clinical concerns, practice management concerns? It's important, in my opinion, for you to be with the associate a significant period of time face-to-face. If you hire an associate to work Fridays and Saturdays so you can play golf or be off or be with your grandchildren, and they are running your practice without you, I've seen so many challenges happen when that is the system. They need some face-to-face time with the practice owner. A checklist for associateship success. I'll go over some questions here that are helpful. Is it a car or boat, as we discussed, a need or a want? Genuinely explore the clinical experience of your associate. Ask, how many crowns have they done so far? What is their comfort level with extractions? Don't have mismanaged expectations. Associates, is key to ask how you be compensated. For dental practice owners, have you worked with a dental team in the past? If this is your associate's first job in the real world of dentisting, as I call it, that is going to take some mentorship and management, which is totally normal because we were all like that when we first started as an associate. How often will I be the only dentist in the office? It can be very lonely to be a dentist running a practice that is not yours. It can be lonely when it is yours. But what are your expectations of an associate to be there all by themselves? That can be very, very difficult. We reviewed the mentorship, money, and morale parts. I am not a fan of clinical working interviews, but I'm a huge fan of an observation day. Before accepting a job or hiring an associate, have them come observe, have them wear scrubs, wear scrubs, sign the HIPAA release form, and let them see your practice in action for a day. Let them see an in-game scenario. Associates, you most definitely want to see this before you say yes to a job. Get a dental focused attorney to create and review your contract. So I'll leave this up here for a second. Right now, if you do text BURN into here, you will get a list of advisors and resources. So if you text BURN to 215-798-9897, you will get a list of advisors and resources that you can use to help you as a practice owner and associate going through this process now. This is my brother and I, and we hired an associate who we like very much when our associate moved to San Francisco during the pandemic. It was a challenging time. Our associate went and followed his wife to San Francisco to her medical residency program. So we needed to replace our associate. And I used my own invention, dentistjobconnect.com, to hire the awesome Dr. Alicia working with us. This is the story. This is the star. Dentisting Dentists and humans, dentists bonding together through the power of Dentist Job Connect. If you're listening and you're here on Zoom, you're welcome to ask me any questions in the chat. If you are listening to this on demand, just shout the questions at your phone. I will answer. Just kidding, that will not happen. You'll have to text or email me at paul@dentistjobconnect.com or text anything you want to 215-798-9897. I also want to show you guys a video here of what I put together here, the 4 most important decisions in the career of most dentists.
Imagine making a $30,000 mistake when buying a dental practice. Imagine not knowing what questions to ask or how to build a team when making the most important decision of your dental life. My name is Dr. Paul Goodman, Dr. Nacho, and I don't have to imagine that because I made those mistakes in 2011. I didn't know what questions to ask when buying a dental practice. I didn't know working with a dual representation broker is nacho nuts. A dual representation broker claims to be able to represent your interest and the interest of the selling dentist at the same time. So if you only listen to this much, just know that working with a dual representation broker can burn your nachos in making the most important decision of your dental life. My goal as Dr. Paul Goodman, Dr. Nacho, is to help you with the 4 most important decisions you will make in your entire dentisting career, or what I call the circle of dentisting life. Finding your first job, buying your first practice, hiring your first associate, and selling your only practice. Dental school teaches us a lot about the Krebs cycle and how to make a mediocre bite rim, but not enough about our dentisting core. What is our dentisting core? The decisions we make with our mind, the words we say, which are ultra important, our clinical skills, and at the center of it all, our heart, who we look to help, and the impact we look to make. Making mistakes in the 4 biggest decisions of your dentisting career can cause so many problems. And I want to give you actionable takeaways in each one of those steps. So let's talk about finding your first job. What is some common mistake dentists make is starting too late. Finding your first job should start day 1 of D1, not applying for that job, finding it. ABC, always be connected. Meeting people in industry who can help. Who are these people if you're a dental student? Who should you reach out to? Go to in-person CE events. Sit next to dentists that look older than you and meet them. They may not be looking for an associate, but they may have a friend who's also looking. When you go to sign an associate contract, do not sign one without having a dental-focused attorney review it. As Dr. Nacho, founder of a 30,000 member plus Facebook group, I get poignant messages daily from dental associates who did not have anyone review their contract, and now they have a problem getting paid, problem with their restrictive covenant. So get a dental focused attorney to review your contract. Nothing bad happens. Either the dental focused attorney says, hey, this contract looks pretty good. Let's ask for a few things here. But if we don't get these things, it's still a good contract. Or they say, there's 14 red flags and I haven't gotten to page 2 of that contract. So that's finding your first job, buying your first practice. The mistake I made was with us buying a second practice, but we overpaid by at least $30,000. And here's why. Cash flow is so important. So this $300,000 practice was only profiting $100,000. So another actionable takeaway. A good way to value a practice is 2 times the net profit, 1.5 to 2 times the net profit, not just 70% of collections. So this broker valued it at $215,000 and we just paid it. There were no Facebook groups. There were no podcasts. We didn't have information on this. We just paid the asking price. And I know that we could have paid at least $30,000 less because it was a practice that was in distress. So if you're buying a practice that's in distress, the owner is sick, they have to sell quickly. That is an unfortunate life circumstance for the selling dentist. But you as the buyer, that practice doesn't have the same value as one where the owner might be able to stay on afterwards. So buying your first dental practice is so important. As someone who helps dentists sell their dental practices, I meet dentists at the end of their career, and they have often had multiple houses, sometimes multiple spouses, but just one dental practice. So what does that mean? That one dental practice will stick with you through your career. The third thing, hiring your first associate. When to know, do you need an associate? Let me tell you the story of my best friend, Todd. Todd didn't know if he needed an associate, but he knew he was very stressed.
He was super successful, amazing fee-for-service practice in Center City, Philadelphia, a fantastic dentist and an even better person. But he didn't know how to find an associate and how to incorporate that associate into his practice. I just met with him recently. He hired this associate 2 years ago, said it was the best decision of his dental career. So what are the 5 questions you need to ask and be able to answer when hiring an associate? Why am I looking for an associate? Where is the position? How will the associate be compensated? Dental school debt's a lot different from even when I went. So these young dentists have to be compensated up to pay their debt, pay their rent, pay their food, things like that. So how, what, where, when, why? Those are the 5 questions. Where is the job? Why do you need an associate? How will they be compensated? What procedures will the associate do most of the time? And also, what fun things are there to do? So this shares with you the 5 most important questions you need to be able to ask and answer when looking for an associate dentist. Answer them with clarity, manage expectations, and you'll be successful on both sides in seeking a job and hiring an associate. If you're confused about these answers yourself, you will not be successful. We strive at Dentist Job Connect to help dentists bond together from solo practices, groups, and larger offices. Do not skip doing this right now. Do not skip doing this right now. Text BURN to 215-798-9897. You will get a list of advisors, accountants, and attorneys that can help you in making the biggest decisions of your career. And if you would like access to our content to learn at the time of this recording, if you're watching this 2 years from now, it might not be active, but currently in March of 2023, this is active. Text CREBS to 215-798-9897 to get access to our unlimited Nacho On-Demand C platform that will help you learn clinical, career advice, patient communication, and more. And many of you may be part of this already. If not, text the word job to 215-798-9897. DentistJobConnect.com will help you find a job at no cost at all to you. And if you text the word hire, if you are a stressed out practice owner thinking about adding an associate to your practice, text hire to 215-798-9897. Thank you for listening and being part of what we do at Dental Nachos and Dentist Job Connect. I hope to meet you in person soon at a Nacho or Dentist Job Connect in person.